Imagine with me for a moment. It's a bright, warm Saturday morning and you decide to take a stroll around the park near your home. After a brisk walk, you sit on a bench in the shade of an oak tree next to a nice enough looking person. They say hi and you say hi and then they say what a nice day it is and how good it is to be alive. And as you spend the next 15 minutes talking to them, you form an opinion of them as they form an opinion of you. There is much that can be gleaned from this brief window of time, whether they're married, have children, what they like to do in their spare time, and they can seem open and funny, charming and intelligent, and a generally good conversationalist that can tell a pretty interesting little story. But depending on who this person is, it's the next 15 minutes that can be dramatically more telling. For instance, if they're in the early stages of Alzheimer's, they might tell you the same exact story, with the same exact body and facial movements, with the exact same punchline as before. If they're schizophrenic, they might start to shift in their seat and get a little too close as they're talking to you, so you feel uncomfortable and you get up and you walk away, but you're looking over your shoulder to check that they're not following you. If I was the person on the bench, you'd find me a pretty interesting conversationalist. If you asked me what line of work I'm in, I would tell you that I'm a brain researcher. If you press me further, I would tell you that I'm a professor of psychiatry and human behaviour, and that I've spent my career teaching students and residents and graduate students all about the brain. If you wanted to know more, I would tell you about my research with adult stem cells and animal models into Parkinson's disease and chronic stroke, and that my basic research has led to the creation of 3 biotech companies, one of which has been netting profits consistently for 25 years, and another that has just been given a national award. If you still wanted to know more, I would tell you about the organisations and think tanks that I'm involved with that focus on arts, architecture and music, and that I've also served as an advisor to the US Department of Defence as an advisor on what war does to the brain. If you still wanted to know more, I'd tell you about the TV shows and the films that I've acted in, and that I also thoroughly enjoyed my past jobs as a labourer, a school teacher, a bartender and a carpenter. You might start thinking that I was making this stuff up. That was a bit of a blowhard. But even if you do think that I talk way too much, or I'm something of a bullshitter, you'd realise that as I talk to you, I look at you in the eye, and I listen carefully to what you're saying. In fact, you might be surprised at how interested I seem in you and your opinions and how you view the world. If you agree to meet me again, maybe we'd become friends. And over time, maybe things I do would rub you up the wrong way. Maybe I'd upset you by not showing up to an event that you'd invited me to. Maybe I'd get caught out in a lie. But if we did become friends, we'd have a good time, because I'm basically a regular person, except for one thing. I'm a borderline psychopath.